Hi guys, this is Neil Angelo I. Gonzalez from BSCE2B, and I'm going to discuss the values of environment. And at this lesson, we're going to tackle the definition of environment, the principles of environment, the importance of environment, the four main values of environment, and its relation to our course. Okay, let's start. What is environment? We heard about the environment every day, but most people never really thought about exactly what it is or what it means to them. When most people define the environment, they usually describe it as their surroundings. While this is not a bad starting point, it does not even scratch the surface as to what the environment actually is and why an understanding of it is so important in our lives. What are your surroundings? Are they whatever is within a certain distance from your body? Are they the room you are in now? What about the building? Is that a part of your surroundings? What about the town the building is in? Or country? Or continents? How about the planet? You see, surroundings can mean many different things. So, let's take a slightly different approach to thinking about our environment. The word environment is derived from the French word environ, which means surrounding. An environment is an everything that is around us, which includes both living things and non-living things, such as humans, animals, and plants, which adapt themselves with their surroundings. It is nature's gift that helps in nourishing life on Earth. Okay, let's move to the principles of environment. The first one is the principle of dependence and mutual influence. Every component depends on the others. This mutual relationship is known as an interaction. Example, amount of rainfall and growth of trees in an area. Principle of balance. Due to the interaction among the components, the environment remains more or less stable. The ability of nature to stabilize itself is known as the ecological balance. This balance regulated through food chains and food webs. Example, the excess carbon dioxide in the atmosphere converted into carbon is by shell-bearing organisms of the sea. The other one is the principle of unity or oneness. According to Saint Francis Assisi, we are all creatures of one family. All organisms are made up of the same structural and functional units, such as the cells. Because the same chemical builds up, substance produced by one organism are usually digested and assimilated by others. Substance prepared artificially by man such as plastic, glass, etc. cannot be accepted or recycled by other organisms. The other one is the principle of diversity, composed of different elements. The inclusion of different types of people, such as the people of different cultures. Organisms differ in terms of their morphological, anatomical, and physiological characteristics. This diversity gives stability to the environment. Example, removal of one type of trees may not adversely affect the ecological balance. Principle of active tendency or resistive nature. Organism can develop resistance against man-made substances, which is termed as active tendency or resistive tendency of organisms. Example, the mosquitoes becoming resistant to DDT and other insecticides. The next one is the principle of continuous production. We can obtain various useful products from animals and plants. Population of these organisms continually change. The nature has its own checks and balances to keep most population within rather narrow limits. And an understanding of this helps in judicious management of natural resources. Principle of adaptation. Adaptation is also called an adaptive trait. It is a trait with a current functional role in the life history of an organism that is maintained and evolved by means of natural selection. Principle of energy flow, also called calorific flow. It refers to the flow of energy through a food chain. In an ecosystem, ecologists seek to quantify the relative importance of different component species and feeding relationship and primary producers, secondary consumers, tertiary consumers, and the decomposers. So that is the example. Principle of growth. It refers to a positive change in size, often over a period of time. Growth can occur as a stage of maturation or a process toward fullness or fulfillment. It can also perpetuate endlessly. The other one is the principle of behavior. Behavior is the range of actions and mannerisms made by organisms, systems, or artificial entities in the conjunction with themselves or the environment. Okay, so I'm gonna play a short video about environment so that you can see the importance or the values of it for us and for all the living things in this environment. importance of environment. Environment plays an important role in healthy living and the existence of life on planet Earth. Earth is a home for different living species, and we all are dependent on environment for food, air, water, and other needs. Therefore, it is important for every individual to save and protect our environment. The Earth, as we know, it can basically be divided into three compartments, or what I like to refer to as worlds: the physical world, the living world, and the human world. Let's look briefly at what comprises each of these worlds. The physical world consists of all non-living objects and processes on the Earth. For instance, rocks, clouds, and air are part of the physical world. The world is more than just objects. There are many processes that operate in physical world, like evaporation, convection, changes of weather and climate, the saltiness of the ocean, the temperature of the air, the movement of soil, rain, storm, sunshine, and blowing wind are all part of physical world. The living world is consisting of all living things and life processes, from bacteria to blue whales, wildflower to redwood trees. The living world is consisting of millions of species of plant, animal, fungus, protist, and bacterial species. As I said earlier, living world includes processes of life like feeding, reproduction, and photosynthesis. And yes, we are definitely part of living world, but as a human being, you and I are fundamentally different from the rest of life on the earth. So we must describe our own world. And here it is. The human world consists all the things that human make do and believe, like science, art, religion, literature, music, and so many things that humans get up to. Now, here is the key to understand the real value of environment. Consider the physical, living, and human worlds. Do they exist in isolation from one another? Of course not. And that is the key to understand the value of environment. There is an interaction between physical, living, and human worlds. In fact, there are zillions of interaction going on constantly. Like inhaling, we are interacting with the physical world. And when we are eating something, is an interaction with the living world. So let's move on to the four main values of environment. First, supply of resources. The environment offers resources for production. It includes both renewable and non-renewable resources. Second, sustains life. The environment includes the sun, soil, water, and air, which is essential for human life. It sustains life by providing genetic and biodiversity. Third, assimilation of waste. Production and consumption activities generate waste. This occurs mostly in the form of garbage. The environment helps in getting rid of the garbage. The fourth one is enhance the quality of life. Environment enhances the quality of life. Man enjoys natural beauty like rivers, mountains, deserts, beach. These add to the quality of life. The relation of the value of environment to our field. Buildings represent a significant percentage of the world's natural resources. They are made of many different materials that are extracted from the earth. Environmental impacts caused by buildings are produced by what they are made of, the manufacturing process they are put together in the form of their construction. Buildings require a lot of raw materials, from lumber to steel, from concrete to glass. Without a doubt, One of the largest demands on natural resources is from the building industry. Buildings in this world, especially in cities, require huge number of resources in terms of material and energy. The materials used in the production of the finished building contribute to resource depletion and environmental degradation. Moreover, when we add in the energy consumed in the production of the materials and transportation of the materials, the energy consumed in the construction of a building, the operation and maintenance of a building, then we realize that a significant portion of energy used wrap up in buildings. So that's it. Thank you.